Are you guys ready for the data? Me too. What's up, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias here, and I'm excited for this one because we are actually going to showcase live data from lead to sale. Now, I can't give any certain specifics about this data, and there are some prior assumptions that we need to make. So, before I get into the actual numbers, let me go over some specifics. The dealers pulled from this data are in the Chicagoland metro area. They range from OEM, their new car franchises, and their actual makes are both foreign and domestic in these examples. And the data is pulled from a full month, but in a full month within the last 4 or 5 months. And I'm not going to disclose exactly which month. I'm not going to disclose exactly what dealer. And I'm not going to disclose exactly which manufacturer plays to which set of data. I'm doing that to protect the privacy of my clients, so therefore nothing can be traced back. But it is pretty exciting because we will be able to see and make inferences from these dealers on what exactly their numbers need to look like, not just how many cars they sold, but also how many leads they have, how many appointments they've actually set from those leads, so on and so forth. Let's dive in. All right, so this is the summary of what it's going to look like. Some assumptions, okay? The lead type we're looking at is internet, walk-in, and phone. We're looking at all of them. The lead status type, active, lost, and sold. And I have another screenshot here that shows we are not looking at bad or complete leads. The reason we have bad unchecked is because duplicate falls under bad leads in this system. So we're not looking at bad leads. And we have to look at lost leads too, because we're looking at a date range that is in the past. And some leads either are active or they have been lost, but they still should count as a lead. And of course, sold is being marked in here as well. This really doesn't matter for our purposes, and we're looking at sold status, okay? So those are the prior assumptions, plus the ones I've listed. Let's do it. Let's get into the data. So, for examples, page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4, all representing different dealers with different numbers, and I'm going to take you through each one right now. We are sorting in descending order of sales, okay? So the dealer I'm looking at right now has sold 172 in this defined period, right? Indicated by this circle all the way at the right. Now, one thing I really love about this report is it actually reads very similar to Google Analytics, with your most right column showcasing the most important action, or a sale in this instance, versus all the way at the left, it takes account where they started from, or a lead, right? So this dealership shows 172 sales for 1,463 leads. Now, there's a bunch of different numbers in between, and I'm going to go through them now. But the one number that's actually not shown that I think is a good percentage to measure is your sold from leads percentage. How many sold cars or sold units do you have for how many leads are being tracked? So I've calculated this myself in each example, and I think it's relative to compare because this could be brand agnostic. This could be new car, used car agnostic. This is just really a performance indicator of what the benchmark is in the Chicagoland metropolitan area at this time. And the Chicagoland metropolitan area is some sort of instance that you can look at to benchmark yourself across all major metros in the United States, Chicago being among the top 5. So this is what we got. We have leads here, appointments set, and then appointment set percentage. And I highlighted this one in red because it's important to understand this percentage because it plays two parts. A, it plays the part of what the lead quality actually is, and B, it actually plays the part in how good your team is on setting the actual lead appointments. It's a two-play system, and you could think of it as a baton handoff, right? Those baton races that run in track and field. It's basically where the marketing company hands off, or marketing companies hands off that baton to the internal store, whether it be salespeople, BDC, whatever. So this store is a 17% appointment set ratio. And then we have an appointment shown, which is just a number. And then it shows appointment show percentage. So appointment show percentage, well, let me back up. This appointment set percentage is just the percentage of 256 out of 1,463. And I'm going to do that math real quick to make sure that number adds up. 17%. When you take 256 divided by 1463, you get 17%. Now your appointment show, that's just a number that actually shows, and then we have an appointment show percentage. So that number is 184 divided by 256. That gets us a 68% appointment show percentage. Then we have appointment scheduled sold, which I put a question mark over because you would think this means, okay, for the amount of appointments scheduled, I guess 256, how many of them sold? Which would be 256 divided by 172, which is over 100%, which this doesn't mean the right thing. So basically this column I'm not going to refer to. And then these columns are just total visits, visits sold, initial visits, beebacks, but really sold in period is what we're looking at, right? So this store had a sold from leads percentage of 11.8%. Note that this store is actually the best in the group. It has the most amount of sales, I think the most amount of leads, we're about to find out, and has the highest sold from leads percentage. So they're pretty on top of it. Next, we have another store. And again, I'm looking at, and I'm not disclosing which one's which, you can make your own inferences, imports and domestic brands, okay? So that includes, and I'm not going to tell you which ones, but Kia, Honda, Hyundai, so on and so forth. Where the domestic brands, Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram. I guess you could layer in all GM brands in there too. So, okay, second example, this store actually had an 8.4% sold from lead percentage. They sold less cars, 113, but interestingly, they generated a close amount of leads compared to our previous, 1,352. So either the actual lead quality, there's a difference in lead quality, or there's a difference in intention of buyers, or the lead isn't being handled to the best of its capabilities, right? Interestingly enough, the appointment set percentage is similar, 16% on this store. But after they get the people in the door, they did not close as many deals. So that's your benchmark there. Another one here, and we're going down in sales here. This was 83 in this time period. The sold from lead percentage, a little bit worrying, 6.8%. So that is the lowest in the group. It's not the lowest sales, but it is the lowest sold from lead percentage. We have 1,224 leads generated. This shows 31% appointment set. Okay, 31% appointment set. Well, dang, that is a very high appointment set percentage. They set 374 appointments. That's more than both the other previous examples. So what's happening here? How many appointments showed? 209 versus 134 versus 184. So from the appointments showing up, their appointment show percentage is actually really high, 55%. Well, it's not as high as this one, 60% and 68%. It's the lowest, but it has the most amount of appointments shown from the examples we're seeing, 209. Now let's look at total visits, 356 compared to 316 compared to 519. Wow, 519 appointments shown, or total visits, I should say. So not quite the same amount of total visits, but they did have the highest amount of appointments shown that have been tracked. But it doesn't seem those appointments are translating into actual sales. So I would say, at least from a numbers point of view, the disconnect is somewhere here. We're having appointments shown, but they're not translating into sales. And that's why we show this low 6.8% sold from lead percentage. Finally, our example, this is the lowest volume dealer of the lot. We have 42 sales overall in this period. We have a 9.7% sold from lead percentage. So that's still pretty high. That's actually the second highest percentage. So the leads that they're getting in, they're selling, almost 10%, which is strong for this specific location. There's 435 leads overall, 123 appointments set, and a 28% appointment set percentage. How that ranks in the rest, that's actually the second highest. So the appointments set for the leads they're getting are pretty good, and they're actually selling 10% of the leads, which compared to the high volume dealer, it's only within a point, 1 percentage point. So I would say the solution for this dealership is they need to get more leads, and they need to get more quality leads. If they do that, their numbers will improve as everything else stays the same. So guys, what can we conclude from this? Well, in the Chicagoland Metro, it seems as though our sold from leads percentage is around 10%. And if we want to improve performance, we need to focus on not just the number of leads, but the actual lead quality, how they handle the leads, and what we can do to improve, how we improve this number, right? The sold from leads percentage. Because if we can do that, you wouldn't have to add any more marketing dollars or anything like that, but you would automatically sell more cars for the leads you are receiving. So those are some Chicagoland Metro numbers. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. If you see a different set of numbers or different set of assumptions, please let me know. Note that I am stating the assumptions in here. Maybe I missed some assumptions to state, but this is a pretty reflective overall view of what's happening, and I'd be curious to know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.